Hi you guys, I haven't made a video in a long time, but this video right here, I'm compelled to talk to you guys to let you know what's currently going on in the surrounding cities where I live, because I don't think this is making national news. So what's currently going on is, over the past couple of weeks, there's been several African American males found hung from trees. I classified as lynching. However, within the media, it is classified as suicide attempts that these people are doing it themselves. One incident took place in Fontana, California, Palmdale, California, and Victorville, California. If you don't know where these areas are located, they're like only an hour to 45 minutes apart, about 50 miles apart. And the thing that makes me to believe that these are modern day lynching is because all of a sudden we have the disputes of the protesting, making it out to be a black thing against the white thing, but it's not. When you look at what's going on in statistics, it's evil versus good, period. We are now in a spiritual warfare where there's no picking sides based off of color, based off of height, based off of weight, based off of likes. It's either you pick a side. You for the good or you for the bad. You believe or you don't believe in a higher power or not. It's evil versus good. That's it, and that's all. So with all this going on, it's time for us to wake up and get our lives in order and to unify, because when there is chaos, that brings forth the right for the government to conduct law and order any way they choose to. Implement it in 24 hours and say martial law, military, shut it down, put these people on curfew, as you've seen previous just with the COVID and just with the protesting. This is a wake-up call. 2020, the vision is clear. When you go to the doctor and you get an eye reading and they give you 2020 vision, that means you can see clearly. 2020 is meant for us to wake up and see everything clear for what it is, to ask God what is our assignments. Okay, like for instance, you guys, I had a dream about a week ago, and within this dream I had a dream that I was being attacked by a bad spirit, that I was fighting the devil. Okay, the image that we are placed inside our head, what the devil looks like, nobody knows what he looks like, but the image of a figure with the horns, that's what I was facing. But it didn't have no face. It was just a black spirit, and it was taller than me, like a giant. And I just kept in a dream fighting. I kept waking up trying to get rid of the dream, and I start praying in the midst of going through this dream. Then I fall back to sleep and the dream will start over. So I kept wondering, was God, that was my symbol, because I pray every day, say, God, what is my assignment? Why am I a target? What do you want me to do? What you want me to learn from this? And that's what I really dreamt. And this is not fake. This is not to just make up some make-believe story to get you guys on board. Only you have the right to choose beside you. On my page is not to talk about the diversity or to talk about what's going on in the media. My page was more conducted on trying to help us make it through as targets. Okay, I go on some people's page and they're talking about how these are fake targets, these people are fake. I feel that's a distraction. Right now the bigger issue is trying to figure out what side you on and how to unify, because they're trying to divide us. Because why? Divide and conquer. There's powers in numbers when you unify. Okay, and on top of that, how's everybody doing with the protesting? Like I said it before, it could be a side, but at the time I felt 2020 is the year for us to speak up. Period. It's no more thinking I have time. I feel the time is now. Okay, and the reason why I feel the time is now, because I was just recently, I've been learned about the Sandra Bland story. If those of you that have not heard about the Sandra Bland story, she was an advocate who was pulled over for a signal stop. She went into a jail precinct and never came out, because why? They said she hung herself, just like the young man that they're proclaiming hung herself due to suicide. However, the case was reopened and it was deemed to be wrong for death, homicide. The police officer, from my knowledge, is not in prison. All they did was gave the family a settlement. Okay, like the Breonna Taylor story. She was killed. Her when the officers went into her home, said she was a drug dealer, just like we are being slandered. Supposedly was a drug dealer. I suppose was some type of big time criminal. Okay, so the pattern goes on with these stories, right? So that's why I said today is the day to speak up, because we don't know what's going to happen. And the only thing that are saving these people name is that these people made previous videos in regards to their lifestyle, where you and I can put two and two together and say they was targeted. So that's why I make videos, and I suggest you guys make some type of videos as a documentation that you are not the people that they proclaim you to be, that you are God's fearing person and you're out here trying to make a change. But unfortunately, when you try to make a change, the truth will set you free in the end. But at the same time, when you're dealing with the government, unfortunately, like there was a song Meek Mill said, the truth will get you killed, unfortunately, right? So it's not a funny topic. I just want to bring that to your attention so that we can wake up and speak up. I feel like today's the day. A lot of times we scared to speak up, but regardless if you speak up or not, you're still going to be targeted. Okay, you're still going to have people not like you off of false allegations. I have people that don't even know me that don't like me because it's what they're trying to portray in the street. Because the first thing they asked when Breonna Taylor was killed, did she have any enemies? Let that sink in. Her mom said no, she had no enemies. Why would you ask me something like that? Because if she was a target, they make it look like you're the problem starter because they have these people coming at you and doing things under the table. So yeah, look like you have a lot of enemies when technically you really don't. You're just trying to defend yourself. I had an altercation, just verbal, not physical, with a couple of my neighbors because one will bump into me. I don't say nothing, then they feel like, oh, she's scared, or I feel like they feel empowered, and did it multiple times. He admitted it to it because I was talking, it got aggressive where I start yelling, not talking to my sister. He admitted to my sister, yeah, I did that, I shouldn't have did that. I praise God for him for just admitting it, but at the same time, it doesn't stop the fact that you're harassing me, you don't even know who I am. And that's why I told him, you can't just, I said, put common sense on, sir. You see me every day walking outside with a nurse uniform on, working 12-hour shifts. So it's common sense. I work for some type of nursing facility, or I work at some type of place where you have to have an employment to have a background check. I said, so you fall victim to allowing somebody to think for you, because that's common sense. That's just common sense. You don't need somebody to tell you that. If somebody came to me and said this person's a criminal, I will watch their behavior. I'll watch the activity. I'm like, they're such a big time criminal. How are they working in the field that majority of people needs a background check? Not no little background check. You need fingerprint, life scan, FBI background checks, okay? So just a long story short, if you guys are going through anything in your city, please let us know, because I don't know if this is just local news or national news. African Americans are being hung in my cities, okay? And just to real quick to notate to the person that said, I'm not gonna watch your channel anymore because you are only proclaiming African Americans are being targeted. No, that's not true. When you gotta separate the two. Targeting, gang stalking is two different entities right now. When I say target, I mean for police brutality, to be murdered, to be going through the trials and tribulations. It's harder for African Americans, and it's time for people just to face it and realize that it's true. Now, when we are being targeted by gang stalking, it's all colors, but I think it's all in the same bracket. All in the same bracket, just for control mechanisms. Okay, I'm not going to keep you long. I'm trying to keep it less than 10 minutes. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for listening. Please let us know how your city is doing. They are hanging people out here and calling it a suicide. How long they've been doing it? The only reason why it's reaching the news now because people in these cities are posting it on Facebook. I didn't get this information off of the news. I got people that are posting on Facebook the news articles to let you know it's not fake news. It's being reported. But even though sometimes you got to watch the news, but then you see the people, family, actually speaking up and saying, yeah, this person was hanged, but we don't feel this person was suicidal. So let me know how your city's doing with the protesting, and if you guys are hearing any negativity or hearing things about that too, of people being hung, because this is crazy. I'm like lost for words right now. I'm rambling because I don't even know what to say. My mind is all over the place. But thank you for listening. Keep me posted.